welcome to episode 3. Today we'll be discussing how to manage your debt. And before we get started, I wanted to personally say thank you again to everyone who has liked my videos, commented, shared my videos, and also subscribed to the channel and provided feedback. It's always appreciated. And let's get started. So before we get into managing our debt, let's take a step back and understand what our debt is. So here I broke it up into two categories: bad debt versus good debt. The good debt I personally believe is a home, school loans, and business loans. A home because that appreciates in value. It's an investment, something that gets greater later. School loans, I think that's investing in your future because potentially once you graduate, you have a better opportunity to make more money. So I think that's an investment. And also a business loan. You take out a business loan, it's in hopes of gaining a profit and adding to your income. So that's why I think those three things are considered good debt. For the bad debt side, a car is definitely in there. That's probably like the worst investment in my opinion, because it just depreciates in value. It just gets worse over time. I still have my old car. I'll probably make a separate video on that, on how it benefited me personally. And also, I think credit cards are terrible, especially with the high interest rates and high interest personal loans. There's always advertisements. You'll probably get mail that has like, hey, here's $30,000, but at 20% interest rate. That's definitely something you do not want to sign up for. To take a deeper dive into debt, let's break it up into a secured loan versus an unsecured loan and understand the difference between the two. So for a secured loan, it's backed by your collateral, which means it's backed by your house or a car and things like that. And usually has a lower interest rate, being that it has something to take if you do not pay on that loan. For an unsecured loan, that's more of the credit cards and the high interest rates because it's only backed by your credit worthiness, like your credit score. So you'll notice that those have higher interest rates because it's riskier without having any collateral to back up that kind of loan. So I would suggest being super careful with the unsecured loans because I was personally a victim. I said that very strongly because I feel strongly about that. Of a credit card when I was younger. This was when I was like a freshman or a sophomore in college. I was going to the store, doing my casual shopping, and they're like, hey, you get 40% off this purchase if you sign up for our credit card. And she was like, you get it whether you approved or not. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just went in thinking I wasn't going to get approved because I was only, I think, like 19, 20 at this time. And she just went forward. She's like, oh, you're approved. And I was like, yay. So I ended up using the credit card because then you get all these reward points, you get all these coupons. And then like a month or two down the road, I ended up actually looking at my credit card statement to just see. And then at the bottom, it was just like this horrendous interest rate. It was like 15+%. And then I was just like, oh, she got me. She definitely got me. Now that we have an understanding of our debt, let's focus on how we can manage it. Personally, I like managing my debt using the avalanche effect. It's different from the snowball effect that you may have heard of before, where you organize your debts from lowest to highest dollar amounts, and you start off paying the lowest one first because scientifically they're saying that when you pay the lowest one and you finish paying that off, it gives you this motivation to continue and keep going up this ladder or potentially the snowball. The avalanche effect is reversed, where you're going to focus on the highest interest rate, regardless of what the balance is. So I have an example coming up to make it more visual because I know this may sound confusing right now, but just stick with me. So I always think it's easier to grasp a concept when you put numbers to it. So let's pretend that we have $30,000 in debt. And that debt consists of a car for $15,000. We also have a credit card at $2,000. And then we have our student loans that is at $13,000. So according to the avalanche effect, of course, I would like to start with the high interest rate credit card because I am still salty about these credit cards and I want them gone, and I'm tired of being disrespected by interest rates. And I think it's just time to get rid of them. So I would start here with the credit card. Or obviously, if you're going with the snowball effect, you'll start with the credit card and then do the school loan based off the balance. But with my preference, I would do credit card and then go to the car because the car has a higher interest rate at that 9%. Let's pretend that we just did the minimum payment every single month until that credit card was paid off. Do you know how long that would take you to pay that credit card off? Literally, it will take you a decade. Literally 10 years. If you just put $60 a month, I'm assuming that's the minimum payment. Usually it's around 3% of the balance is what they expect you to pay per month. So this is just my example, but this is a reality for some. You're paying 15% on this $2,000 with just $60 a month going towards the balance, and you're still getting hit with more interest on top of that as you're paying this minimum. So how do we avoid that? Stay tuned. So when you're on this financial freedom journey, you want to get used to not paying the minimum payment. You want to make more than that. You want to put an additional 20, 40, whatever you can afford. Put something on it so you don't have to worry about paying on something for 10 years. That's just insane. So let's pretend that we put an additional $40. That's literally $10 a week, probably $1 and change a day that you could literally put aside if you can, and just add it to this credit card. So you can see here that you're able to save 4 years and $600 just by simply putting additional $40 towards this credit card every month. So you're not getting disrespected by interest rates. I think this is super important. This is what I will continuously preach. Tackle the credit cards first. I feel like it's the worst type of debt when it comes to interest rates. Okay, so I know that was a lot to digest, from bad debt to good debt to unsecured versus secure loans, and then trying to figure out which debt you have with the high interest rates. So I'm gonna let you guys digest this information, and then we're gonna come back strong next week for episode 4. And I hope you guys tune in. But in the meantime, please comment, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and continue the support. It's definitely appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.